A centuries-old tradition. The dairy farmers of Tyrol are trekking home with their cattle on their way back to the valley after a summer in Alpine pastures. You always want to be where the cows are happy. This is the highlight of the year here in the Alps. The Almabtrieb, the festive cattle drive. We're about to get moving, and the cows know it. It's just 7 in the morning, and the high-pressure cleaner is already blasting full steam. Everything has to be spotless for the big day. Absolutely everything. All 80 cows need to be cleaned head to toe. Hannes rolls up his sleeves and gets down to business. He's the guy who does the dirty work around here.
Ja, da muss man einfach durch.
You just got to deal with it.
Ist so, ne?
Today, the cows are coming home, and everything has to be clean, including the cows. And the people scrub up too.
Und die Leute auch.
Leonhard Thaler, known as Hartl, is preparing the decorations for the freshly showered livestock. He shares the herd with Martin Kronthaler, who spends the summer in the mountains with the cows. They may be good friends, but they'll never agree on their favorite cow. It's Alma all over there. She's just so well behaved and calm. Alma? No, it's Soraya. She's the queen. Alma and Soraya haven't quite finished their morning grooming. 2 young herders are here to add the finishing touches. Johannes and Jacob. Johannes is busy combing the cow's coat, so it'll have a nice and shiny gloss for the big day. Does the cow like getting all spruced up? Does he know that for sure? Well, not really, Johannes admits. But she definitely enjoys a bit of petting now and then, he says. And why have the cow's tails been tied? It's so it doesn't swing around or get dirty, explains Jacob. The young helpers' work at the cattle run gives them some exclusive perks. They get to immerse themselves in nature. This kind of thing never happens at home. This is part of the cattle run and its long tradition. No cow can march into town without the proper garb. It takes a long time to put on the elaborate headdress and bells. But the cows don't seem too bothered by the whole process. It's the crew that's hard at work. The cows are adorned with Christian symbols, and an individual festive headpiece is designed for each of the 80 animals. But there's just one person who knows how to decorate each and every one of them.
Nevada.
Does he know them all by name? Yeah, for sure, he says. All 80 of them. I know them by their bells, too. Each one has a different bell. When it's dark out and a cow comes, I already know which one it is by the sound of the bell. Hartl's favorite cow, Alma, is now ready for the biggest day of the year. Today, Alma is wearing a Swiss cowbell. She's a beautiful Simmental cow, with horns too. In the summer, she grazed up at 2,000 meters. She's wonderful. It's always an emotional experience heading down from the Alpine pastures, says Martin. He's been on the mountainside since the 28th of May, without returning to the valley once. And with all the work to do up here, he says there's no time to get lonely. They know what's going on. They always get the same decorations. Now they're waiting for us to open the gate, and then they'll march 14 kilometers. From the Alpine pasture in Inner Alpbach to the town of Reith, about 600 meters further down the slopes. A healthy Alpine cow provides some 4,000 liters of milk a summer, but makes for a lot of hard work for the herder, what with feeding, milking, and mucking out the barn. When you go with the cows up to the mountains, you pray and hope everything will go fine over the summer. Of course, it's important to stay healthy and fit, because otherwise you can't do the work. It's a 15-hour workday. The marching order is decided, with Soraya leading the way. The 17-year-old head of the herd is wearing a crown and walking beside Martin, the herder. At just 10 years old, Alma's place is in the middle. Everything is just right, according to Hartl. He's really excited about the youngest members of the procession. They're marching beautifully. The really little one, the 2-year-old, is already coming along, like it's second nature to her. And in the spring, they'll be transported back to the mountains in a truck. Up here, there are bigger pastures than in the smaller farms in the foothills. There's not enough grass here, while the mountainside meadows are extensive and lush. And the cows stabilize the ground with their hoofs. Another thing that cows really love is how there are far fewer flies to bother them at higher altitudes. Along the way, the first spectators stop to watch, along with curious cows from other farms. But whether they're jealous, or rather feel sorry for their fellow kind, is anyone's guess. The closer the herder gets to town, the more relaxed he seems. The herd from the mountains clearly has the right of way here. The 14-kilometer route is a blast for Johannes and Jacob. They keep on trekking without taking a break until they reach Reith. There, a huge audience awaits them.
This is my 4th time here already. The cattle drive in Reith has always been great, and today it's wonderful.
Thousands of people flock to Reith every year. The place is steeped in tradition, home to an abundance of handicrafts, hearty food, and regional specialties, such as sausage and ham, including beef versions. But some people seem not to care too much that it's a big day for the cows and their herders. They just want to let loose and party.
There's no real need to make such a fuss of the cows. They could just stay home, while everyone else has a few drinks.
That's the most important thing?
It sure is. Well, the music is great too, of course. But I could do without the cows.
The cows are coming, and now everyone has to make way. Collisions are only narrowly avoided. 80 cows gathered in a tight space with a few dozen helpers and lots of international guests, even from Manchester, England.
It's very impressive, yeah. The head coverings are really interesting. Yeah, it's interesting cultural event, so it's nice to be here at the right time to see it.
There are also drinks for the cows, who are taking a break here before heading to their barn. Hartl can immediately tell when one of them needs to stop and rest. This one's tired. 14 kilometers is quite a distance. But is all this fuss good for the animals? One visitor from the US has her doubts.
I started to wonder if it's okay, especially with the big headdresses and the big bells. So I'm not sure if it bothers them or not. They seem okay walking, but they seemed tired when they were done.
Is a cattle drive into the valley still an okay thing to do? Yes, it's fine. Animal rights activists say it's not healthy and they should be picked up by a truck. Yeah, okay, that's what they say. They don't have a clue. The cows are in great shape. I think some athletes wouldn't be able to do what they can. They go up the pastures 2,200 meters up and back down. They're sporty and fit. That's just 14 kilometers. These critics really don't have a clue. And either way, probably no one here would ever allow this tradition to be cancelled. The eventful day ends in the peace and quiet of the barn. It's nothing new to me. It's just not a day like any other. But there's still definitely a routine to it. That was the 50th cattle drive here I've been involved in. And it went wonderfully again. It's always a real pleasure. His favorite cow, Alma, is delighted to have a proper helping of Tyrolean pasture hay. And she gets to have a relaxing evening without her crown. Zariah, the queen of the cattle drive in the Alpbachtal.